Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. We've got people here for a probation violation arraignment, and we've got several people here with us. We've got Abigail Adams, who is Daniel Frazine's. We don't have Dallas Davison. We'll set him aside for a moment. We have Matthew Irwin, who is Daniel's. Hannah Farler is not here. We have Yvonne Santion, who I think is who that is.
Alan,
Laura, what?
It's Alan Santion.
Oh, Alan. Alan, is that you? We got a very poor connection.
Hannah is 10 o'clock, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right. You're here for. Apparently not. We'll find out. I can't hear it though. All right, you're here for a probation violation arraignment or other hearings regarding your probation. We're going to start with Abigail Adams. This is file 21688FY. The defendant was placed on probation in April of 2021 for use of methamphetamine. Frankly, we're not having real great success with the use of methamphetamine probations. Your probation agent, Daniel Frazine, has prepared a petition alleging that you violated your probation by failing to report on a monthly basis, failing to pay fines and costs and oversight fees or any other fees, failing to abstain from the use of alcohol. You tested positive for meth on 6/2, failing to participate in treatment as directed. Those are alleged to be allegations that you violated your probation. This matter is an arraignment where I tell you what the charges are and advise you have a right to have a hearing. I would indicate, let me tell you what your probation agent says. This probation has gone exactly how our last probation went. You've gotten revoked on a DV probation. This officer can only draw the conclusion that the defendant is not ready to stop choosing meth. She goes out of her way to stop talking with people who could help point her in a much healthier direction. There's not much more to say. Defendant refuses to participate in treatment, report, stop using, or avoid hostile situations. The officer recommends the defendant be given an appropriate sentence, and he's advising we impose the reserved 77 days of jail. So that's what his recommendation is. Abigail, you have a right to have a hearing regarding this where it have to be shown beyond a preponderance of the evidence that you did violate your probation. You would have the right to have an attorney to represent you at that hearing. Your original attorney was Luke Knopfsinger. All you have to do is tell me you want to have a hearing and I'll appoint Luke to represent you in this matter.
No.
All right. Do you wish to admit the violation?
Yep.
All right. Give me a minute here. I gotta fix this. All right. You understand that I could appoint an attorney and you could have representation in this matter?
Yes, I understand.
All right. He alleges that you failed to report. I'm not too worried about failing to pay fines, that you tested positive for meth on June 2nd and you failed to participate in treatment. The most concern I have is about your failing to participate in treatment. Did you use meth on or about June 2nd?
Yes.
And tell me about failing to report or failing to do treatment.
When I started using again, I just stopped reporting. And
Why won't you do the treatment?
I've screwed up enough. I was going to, and then I don't know why I didn't. I was mad about something, and it doesn't even matter now because it caused me an even bigger problem.
If I tested you today, would you be positive today
Yes.
for meth?
Yes.
Well, Abigail, I appreciate your willingness to just accept responsibility. I would have got an attorney for you. This wouldn't be that hard to prove. Some of the things are proving a negative. You didn't show up, you didn't report, you didn't do treatment.
There's all the proof you need.
Yes, you need some help. And one of the things you need to do is to get detoxed. Daniel, what's your recommendation here?
Still the same recommendation. I'd also like to confirm if she's still living at 180 East 3rd Street.
No.
All right, I want you to call Daniel and give him your current address.
I don't have an address.
All right, well, you're about to have one.
Mhm.
How many days credit does she have, Daniel?
I believe there's 77 reserved. I'm not sure if it was, I'll look it up real quick.
I think she had 13 days. I'm gonna order 73 days credit, 13. 60 days to do. You're to turn yourself in at the jail at 7 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
We're gonna start your forced detox. That'll be a good start. You need to get to a baseline. You know you're struggling and you're wise enough to know that you can't do this yourself. I don't need 77 days, but 60 days minus good time is going to be about 50, which is a good start on getting your brain cleared up. We're ordering no fines and costs, and your probation is revoked once you turn yourself in. All right, Abigail, I don't have a better answer. The domestic violence probation didn't work. These are multiple technical violations: failing to report, failing to test, testing positive. We have a history of a previous failed probation. We have the defendant's acceptance of responsibility, and I'm not going to do a temporary 5-day sanction. I'm simply going to revoke the probation as indicated at the outset and start some forced sobriety. All right, Abigail, 7 o'clock tonight. I'll be ready for you at the jail.
I'll be there.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't even know what to say, Daniel. We're struggling so much with our 7411 meth probations. I don't have a magic bullet. I wish I did. All right, let's talk to Matthew Irwin. This is file 202618, People versus Matthew D. Irwin. This is a little bit different. Mr. Irwin pled to the violation, and we've been trying to figure out what's what. I'd have to pull this up to get a look at my notes. So let me get this one. The probation violation petition signed June 18th alleges that you were put on probation May 10th of 21, and the violation alleges you've failed to pay fines, costs, oversight fees, failed to abstain from the use of alcohol or drugs, failing to test, failing to participate in treatment as directed, failing to seek or maintain full-time work or school. So Matthew, those are the allegations. This is a arraignment on the probation violation. As I told Ms. Adams, you do have a right to have a hearing on this, and if you wish, I will appoint an attorney for you, schedule the matter for a hearing. Daniel is frustrated, and he's recommending 50 days jail as a sanction and revocation of this probation. Does that affect your decision of whether you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you? I lost him. Darn it. Now I lost Alan Santion.
Hopefully it's just bad connections.
Alan is back. And I have yet to be able to hear him. Mr. Santion, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where are you?
Can you hear me? I'm at work.
Not very well. Where are you?
I'm at work.
All right. You're not in jail in LaGrange County anymore? That isn't going to work. Well, in the meantime, we got to figure out what's going on with Mr. Neidlinger. I'm very frustrated. Mr. Santion, you stay where you are for a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unless I can hear you better, you're going to have to drive over here to Centerville.
Your Honor, I believe.
All right, the AS 400 says Drew Neidlinger is set for a probation violation hearing today at 1 o'clock in front of Judge Pattison. There was an arraignment on June 16th, and it was set for a PV hearing. It was in front of me on June 16th. So it never should have been set in front of Judge Pattison. And it shouldn't have been set at 1 o'clock. To further complicate things, it isn't on today's calendar. Mr. Irwin is back. Mr. Irwin,
Yes, sir. I
you're back with
apologize.
us.
I lost signal, sir. I apologize.
All right, well, that happens a lot. Anyway, I was telling you what the allegations were. Did you hear that much?
Yes, sir. I did.
All right, then I was telling you, you have a right to have a hearing on this, and if you wish, I will appoint an attorney for you. Daniel's report indicates a lot of frustration, not returning calls, missed your appointment at the VA. My recommendation is you get an attorney to help you with this because it's likely you're going to be ordered to a jail sentence. Do you wish to admit to the violation or have an attorney to represent you?
I prefer to have an attorney represent me.
All right. Now, I don't know what's going on. You and I have talked a number of times over the years. You are a very intelligent guy. And whenever I talk, you're polite, respectful, you don't know what this means, but it's Eddie Haskell kind of thing. And then on the other side of the fence, you're keep shooting yourself in the foot. Your original attorney was Timothy George. Set a PV hearing for future date. Appoint Tim George. I want to know why you keep screwing up, why you're not doing this VA stuff. It's the only thing that kept you out of jail. Previously, I would have already dropped the bomb, except I was hoping maybe we could accomplish something with the assistance of Stony Summy and the VA services, because you need help, and then you just keep not doing it. So, and also you keep blowing off your PO. So I'm going to get a lawyer to help you with this. I don't want you to say too much now because you don't have an attorney here.
Yes, sir.
Where are you living?
Currently, I am staying where I have to. I currently don't have a solid address. I was supposed to have housing through Stony Summy. He's failed to come through. I've maintained residence, and I have gained employment. I also have made a payment. It's in your guys' system. And
all right, I'm going to put you, Daniel, is this your last one, or do you have Neidlinger?
No, Miss Farler and whatever, I'm guessing we're going to have to adjourn Mr. Neidlinger and get this figured out, I'm guessing.
All right, I'm going to put you in a room with Mr. Irwin so he can tell you some of these things that he says he's working, get his address, get info.
Sure.
All right, I'll see you in a bit. Matt, we're going to get your information. We're going to send the attorney's name. Frankly, I wasn't even sure you were going to show up today, so I'm glad you're here. We'll get an attorney, figure out what's going on.
Yes, sir.
If there are some VA services available, we ought to utilize them. Otherwise, we utilize the service where you're a trustee at the jail and you mow the lawn for the rest of the summer. All right. All right, Mr. Neidlinger, I appreciate your patience.
Yes, sir.
We lost Alan again. Alan, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna make sure we got a decent enough connection here. Oh, it's up here. This is file 20980, People versus Alan Xavier Sention. He was put on probation again for use of methamphetamine in August of 2012. Your probation officer filed a probation violation petition alleging that you violated the law of any other unit of government. You got convicted of another charge, I believe, in LaGrange County. You were in the LaGrange County jail.
Incorrect.
My note says you were expected to be out in late July, and I asked to set it for July 28th at 9:30, but somehow they set it for June 30th at 9. So you're here now. Matthew, what's the nature of this probation violation?
So the nature of this probation violation is that while Mr. Sention was on probation with me, he did pick up a new charge in LaGrange County, Indiana, in the circuit court. He was sentenced to resisting law enforcement. He was sentenced to 180 days jail, credit 40. And it appears that he served 70, so he served half of the remaining days in jail. And then he was released to some sort of supervision. I'm not sure, quite clear if it's a tether or if it's a house arrest, but it's through their community corrections. That he would serve the rest of his jail sentence outside of custody.
All right, is he still on? I'm sorry, I got interrupted right in the middle of your discussion. Mr. Neidlinger's an old paper file, so it's all messed up. We'll figure it out here. Is he still on probation?
Are you talking about the
In
LaGrange County?
LaGrange? Yes.
Well, it's a little bit complicated. He was simultaneously on probation with LaGrange. I believe that probation was terminated as well. I was in touch with his probation officer in LaGrange County. And then this is a new case that actually happened while he was on probation, both with St. Joseph County and with LaGrange County.
So is he on probation on the new case?
No, he received a jail sentence.
All right, just jail. What's your recommendation?
My recommendation is he's already sentenced to 140 days in jail down there. This probation was starting to tumble down the cliff. We weren't doing so hot towards the end anyway, that we just revoke his probation and give him credit for the 140 that he's serving through LaGrange County and revoke.
Mr. Santillan, did you hear that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you willing to do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Other than what I've said here, did anyone promise you anything to get you to plead to this
No,
or threaten you?
no, Your Honor.
All right. You live in LaGrange. You're on supervision of some sort in LaGrange, and you just got 140 days jail. I'm going to order 140 days jail, credit 140, concurrent with LaGrange County, Indiana. This will now show as a conviction. There's a loss of deferral. Probation is revoked. Fine is 0. You owe us nothing. You are apparently working. Our probation didn't go, so you had a crime, you got ours, then you got another one, and you're an Indiana resident, and we'll just let you be supervised by them. All right, your probation is revoked. I've ordered a jail sentence, which is concurrent with the sentence you are doing. All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Irwin, you're good
Yes,
to
sir.
go. You provided that
Thanks, sir.
information to Daniel. We'll
Yes, sir.
get an attorney appointed and set it for a hearing.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Hannah's just checking in here. All right, so that's that one, that one, that one. Mr. Dallas Davidson is Matt's, and Matt has clicked out. He has failed to appear for his PV hearing, do a bench warrant for his arrest. An immediate bench warrant. No bond, see judge. This is a probation on a charge, again, of use of methamphetamine. I don't have a phone number. Let me see. I got those screwy new face sheets without any information on them. Let me see what I got here. I got a phone number. I'll try calling them in a minute. All right, let's figure out what the heck is going on with poor Mr. Neidlinger. I met with him. Part of the problem is this is an old file and it's a paper file, so nothing's in OnBase. So it isn't even on the docket in OnBase. I don't know how Judge Pattison would have even known it was allegedly on his docket. I'm not sure how it got put on Judge Pattison's docket in the first place. And his attorney, Chris Yancey, got notice for a hearing at 1 o'clock today in front of Judge Pattison. So she's going to log in at 1 o'clock. And I don't even know, well, apparently this was in Judge Pattison's office. So Mr. Neidlinger, you're still in the rehab facility?
Yes, sir.
That's good news. You told me it was called
Recovery Works Treatment Center.
Works.
And I'm going to Oxford House, which is a sober living, tomorrow. And I have a few jobs lined up already. And I could get back to work and start making these payments.
I'm going to reset this. We're going to have to call Attorney Yancey, reset the PV hearing before me. Well, I guess for that matter, Daniel,
Sir?
I don't have anything on my calendar for this afternoon. I'll just do this at 1 o'clock. So Mr. Neidlinger, log back in here this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
No sense to do a bunch of rigmarole. Your lawyer's got 1 o'clock. We'll call her and tell her to log into my side and we'll just address it at 1 o'clock. Okay.
Same Zoom address?
Same Zoom address.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you this afternoon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Give me just a minute here.
Did you say that Miss Fowler did log in?
She did. Now, I sent an email to Pam and she emailed me back. Let's see what she says. It was negative. All right. I'll be right back.
Dan, did you have any updates on Parlor or regular?
Other than she was supposed to test Monday, didn't have money. Said she'd have money Tuesday, didn't have money Tuesday, and then tried to leave me a message, or she did leave me a message yesterday, but I didn't call her back. She wasn't able to test Monday or Tuesday this week. So, a little suspicious.
Yeah.
And she's not in services with CMH, and she has been terminated.
Is she going to restart though?
That is what she purports. Checks in the mail.
Right, right.
I think this is just a sentencing, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the continuation of the sentencing. With the cost of testing, is there anything to help pay for that?
She was in treatment and doing what she's supposed to. They will pay for all or most of it, depending on how much money they have at the time. It's kind of a floating scale, but if there's money
Like with
in there,
CMH?
it's PA2 stuff, and I think it's handed out by CMH. I think they're the ones that give the money to DRC for that, but they have to be in treatment.
Well, I thought I admitted everybody, but I guess only Debbie got over the hump, so we'll bring,
Oh, we don't need Tim. He's just
he's just obstructionist.
extraneous. Oh, hey, Tim.
How's it going?
Oh, we're sorry. You've been called a lot of things. Have you been called extraneous before?
Not that, but it's been called much worse. That's for sure.
All right, well, I had some cases I had some struggles with. I think we're up to speed. All right, Hannah is back with us. We return to file 202431, People versus Hannah Beth Farler. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna forward an email I got from the Day Reporting Center to each of you. This is an ongoing hearing in the matter of People versus Hannah Beth Farler. Good morning, Ms. Farler.
Good morning.
Let me bring your case up here. Hannah has been struggling. Just a minute. That didn't go through.
I got the email.
Tim, I sent it to the wrong Tim George address. We were here on June 23rd, and the defendant would admit the violations, but there were a number of issues, and not the least of which is she has a very young child. She indicated she had signed releases. We did confirm she's still working at KFC. She has a ride to work. I wanted to send her to the Day Reporting Center and test. She did go to DRC and test as directed. And according to Pam at DRC, she tested negative. Hannah said she would be negative, and she was true to her word. So that is good news. All of our concern is this very newborn child that Hannah has. And frankly, I was at a loss as what to do. Tim's recommendation is 60 days in jail. Hannah obviously is not.
That wouldn't be my recommendation, Judge.
Daniel's recommendation, excuse me. No, it wouldn't be yours. And obviously Hannah doesn't want that. She says, I'm working, I'm not using drugs, I've got my child, I've signed a release. So Tim, what is your position here?
I think my client would like to continue on with the probation. I think based on the circumstances, obviously everyone that's here is concerned for Ms. Farler and her child. I think that this oversight would help to alleviate some of those concerns. I think my client is struggling a little bit, but some of that is natural just based on her circumstances at this point, being a single mom. So in talking to her this morning, obviously she had the negative test last week. It sounds like she didn't have the funds to test earlier this week, and had talked to Mr. Frazine about that. I think that it sounds like she's going to get some childcare figured out. Some people that originally had said that they would step up hadn't, and that's added some additional burden. But, I understand that there's got to be some type of consequence for what she admitted to. I think that if the court were to continue on a probation, a weekend arrangement or something can be made so that first Hannah can keep her job and continue to work, and also so that she can get childcare, so that, we're not just leaving that issue in a lurch as well. So based on what my client has indicated to me, I think that that is what her request is under the circumstances. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Daniel, have you gotten those releases yet?
Well, after we were in court last time, I did call CMH and did confirm that she wasn't in treatment. She had made some appointments to sign the release, didn't show up, made another appointment, didn't show up. And then Monday, she could not pay for it. She said she'd have money Tuesday. Then she called and didn't have money on Tuesday. If she was in treatment, they would have money that would pay for all or most of the testing. So obviously she's still not in treatment. So she's not being completely truthful.
Okay, well,
Yeah, Hannah, if you're in treatment, we can pay for the tests. And we know you don't have very much money. Before I hear from you, Ms. Davis, what's your thought?
Well, not thrilled that she tested once, but then had 2 refusals or non-compliance. And looking at her testing record, that's a lot of no-shows all in a row, and a positive alcohol screen a while back. It's not a great indicator for how probation is going to go, but I think she needs probation. It would be easy just to stick her in jail for the next couple of months and to keep her from harming herself or society, drinking and driving, that sort of thing. But I hope that having this child has helped her stay on the straight and narrow, and maybe the alcohol positive was just a slip up. But I would like to see the probation continue, but I also want some penalties as far as these no-shows and excuses and saying she's in treatment, but not really. I understand childcare is an issue, but I think the counselors are willing to work with her if it's something where the child has to come with her. I don't think that at the child's young age, that's going to impede her ability to do the counseling and therapy. DHHS is set up for people in her situation who need a boost with childcare and help. And I think that she hasn't really availed herself to all of the things that she should. Dan's here to help her, not to steer her in the wrong direction, but she's not engaging in the services. So if she can't do it with this go around on the probation violation, I guess we look at just a straight jail sentence, but I would like to see it continue.
Hannah, I first met you when you were 17, and the rules are going to change. Now you're not an adult until you're 18, but at that time, and you and I had met a bunch of times, and my goal isn't to screw up your life. My goal is to try to help you make it better. You've grown up quite a bit since then. You've matured. You were very young. Now you're a mom and you're poor. That's not your fault. You're struggling to make ends meet. And one of the inherent deficiencies with day reporting center testing is it costs money, and people don't have money. Every time she pays for a test, it's money she doesn't have for diapers or gas money to get back and forth to work. And so it is an unfair closed loop that poor people find themselves in. She's in the working poor. She's not lazy. She's trying to work while having a very young child and not much help. And I don't say poor as a derogatory thing. You just don't have very much money. And it's unrealistic of me to say, hey, I want you to pay for a $22 test 3 times a week to make sure you're not using alcohol. One of the other hats I did wear for many years. I was chairman of the Community Corrections Advisory Board for 35 years until Judge Stutzman just accepted that seat. But we have set it up so that if people are in treatment, we can use some state grant money called PA2 funds to pay for your testing. And testing is important to me, Hannah. I don't want you drinking. I don't want you sliding back into methamphetamine or cocaine or opiates when you've got a very young child. So the testing is important. But in order for me to pay for your testing, you have to be in treatment. So we need to get that on track. I also realize it's hard for you to get from where you live to where the day reporting center is. For many years, I struggled to get day reporting testing in Sturgis. So we had it available to people in Colon and Burr Oak and Sturgis. And that just became unworkable. It was too expensive. And we lost it a few years ago. So now I've got one place to do it. I tend to agree with both Deborah and Tim that she needs to continue the probation. Then we got Daniel, who is in the frustrating position of trying to administer this probation. And Daniel's not out to get you. He really isn't. He's just as concerned as we are about you. I don't want something bad to happen. But as was stated last time, this was a bad case. You were real drunk, you crashed a car, you fought with the cops, you weren't sorry about it. And you probably would be in jail right now had it not been for the fact that you were pregnant and you have an infant child now. Daniel, can you continue to supervise this probation?
Yes, we just got to get her on that treatment train. That's the most important thing. The rest we can work with, but she's got to be in treatment. And most of the treatment now is virtual, so she shouldn't have to drive to it.
Yes, that is true. The only thing you can't do virtually is take a urine test.
Right.
Haven't figured out a way to do that yet. Probably will. How many hours are you getting at work?
23, 25.
That's not a lot. You don't get benefits when you only work that much. I'm going to order 1 day jail, and Daniel's going to schedule it. I don't want to do 2 days. I get too personal, but if you're nursing, 2 days away from a child is very problematic. So Daniel's going to schedule a day. Your probation is continued. Meaning you've got to do your treatment. And if you do your treatment, I'll pay for your testing. If not, if you're not going to do treatment, you're not going to test, might as well put you in jail. But this is very important bonding time for you and your infant child. And for you to be gone for 60 or 90 days is detrimental to your intimate bonding time with your infant child. And you're not evil. You're not some arch criminal. You're just a young woman trying to make your way in the world. And even the crime that you did was sort of a cry for help. You weren't out to hurt anybody. The one you most hurt was yourself. You were just so overwhelmed. That's how you reacted. All right. I'm going to have Daniel coordinate that on a day you're not working. You're going to have a need to get childcare. Let me repeat, you're still on probation. You still have to stay in contact with Daniel. You still have to test as directed. We'll get the payment set up, and you have to do treatment. I can forego money issues. That's something we can work on. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, you're free to go. Thank you all for your help.
Good luck, Hannah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Tim,
Yes.
I will give you the good news that I appointed you to represent Matthew Irwin on a probation violation. Tim's struggling with him, Daniel's struggling with him also.
Yeah, he's got a recording to show you of our conversation. Apparently I'm out to get him, so that should be interesting. It did not end well.
Oh, you mean just now?
Yeah, just now.
Oh, great. Well, I said that there was an Eddie Haskell reference that I don't think he knew what I was talking about, but
No, I'm pretty sure he wasn't of straight mind after speaking to him. At least I'm hoping that's the situation,
but he isn't doing anything he's supposed to be doing. And I'm not sure what his deal is, but he pled not guilty to the violation and we're going to set up for a hearing.
Has he
How
been
long-
testing?
no,
He had doing nothing.
no.
How long has he been out of custody?
Oh, a while. Stoney was trying to get some things set up for him, and that's all a giant failure. Anyway, we're on the record and we're live, but anyway, I've appointed you on it and we'll have further hearing on it.
Okay. All right. I think that does
All
it for
right.
me.
Now,
Thank you, guys.
I think my next case is the Cass County prosecutor. So I think that,
Yes, I don't think I have any sentencings with you today. It looked like the only one was.
well, there is a PV hearing that's set for this afternoon. It might have ended up on your calendar in Judge Pattison at 1.
It must have been
I
on
was-
Casey's
It
probably.
was a scheduling faux pas.
It's a scheduling error. I don't even know what the heck the deal was, but it's gonna be on my calendar.
I will probably still be at a funeral, so that probably will end up being Casey.
I have a funeral also, which started about 20 minutes ago. I hope to get out of here and be able to go to it. At least the after part, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Mine's in Three Rivers.
Well, mine's just here in Centerville at 11, so, but then there's like the lunch thing afterwards, so. If I'm not back, Casey or Dave or somebody can handle it.
Okay.
All right, I think we're gonna work something out on it. All right, thanks for your help. Thank you,
No
Dave.
problem. Take care, guys.
All right, okay. We'll stop our live feed. We'll be back at 11.